You know how everyone says you can build a startup from pretty much anywhere around the world? Well, that's kind of true, but if you're really serious about your startup, if you really want to raise money, there's only one place you have to be, and it's here. It's San Francisco. You can just feel it here, the energy, the level of intensity, and just the number of investors, the number of founders who are here is just impressive. Founders, they fly here for 2 weeks and they leave with 3 term sheets. Investors, they say they're overbooked, but they still show up to every single YC demo day. Some people say it's hype, but it's not. This place has the fastest time to closing your round, fastest time to your first term sheet, and on founders' favorite terms, much better than Europeans, for example. And sure, it's not perfect. You know, San Francisco has its problems, it's expensive, but still, it's the best place if you want to build. That's why several years ago, I packed my bags and moved here. And now I want to take you behind the scenes. So let me show you how deals get done here in San Francisco. I didn't show up in San Francisco with a fund, a brand, or a team. I showed up with scars. I bootstrapped a company to $1 million ARR, started some others, exited a few, but mostly I failed a lot. It was just me figuring things out as I went. While doing this, I'd also backed a few startups as an angel. Some wins, some loses, but I was starting to learn more and see more deals. Fast forward to 2017, I started Leonis. Not a fund yet, just a club of private angel investors. The idea was simple: open up early stage angel investing to more people without the need to be a millionaire or an insider. I'd find the deal flow, set up an SPV, and allow people to invest quickly and easily. At the beginning, we focused on French startups. That's where I lived. That's what I knew. I could get into some deals, and we did, and the club blew up. It worked. But the more I did it, the more I asked myself, where are the best startups actually built? Not the good ones, the very best ones. And the answer was obvious. It was Silicon Valley, and then more specifically, Y Combinator. So little by little, I started building bridges. I got on the plane a lot and started finding a few deals. When I got my foot in the door, I went deep into the YC ecosystem. I started flying out here more and more. For Leonis and my SPVs in 2020, I made a hard call. No more French startups, no more geographic hedging. All of the money would go to the US, to US startups in YC. It was risky, and honestly, some people thought I was crazy. What about Europe? But the returns proved that the call was right. Between 2020 and 2023, Leonis deployed more than $24 million in YC startups and got into some very big names, including 2 startups we invested in at seed that today are already unicorns. Eventually, I stopped splitting time, I moved. And that became the foundation for something much bigger. From 2020 to 2023, I ran more than 100 SPVs, invested mostly in YC companies, somewhere around $25 million. But of course, SPVs have their limitations. It's tough to get into some of the hottest deals very quickly because those deals at YC tend to oversubscribe rather fast and you have to raise every time. And SPVs are not the best ways to get into the best deals. Also, you don't control the portfolio construction. Everyone in the SPV is doing their own portfolio construction, sometimes not the best. So with a fund, it was much better for us to build something we really believed in. With Lobster Capital, we'll still focus on YC startups. That hasn't changed. What has changed is the way we approach it. Instead of trying to cover the entire batch, we find a few companies in each batch that we have extremely strong conviction into, thanks to their very, very promising and strong early traction. And that's who we back. We typically write 250K to 500K checks into them very early, and it's been going really good actually. We've built the fund around one idea. If you specialize and if you move fast, you're able to do great things. So we only specialize in YC. We get to talk to the very fast growing companies very early. Sometimes when they're just getting started with their YC journey, we're often able to bring them value to secure an allocation. If you're serious about early stage investing, you cannot ignore what's happening in San Francisco right now and right here in Y Combinator's offices. Yes, the headlines are about the insecurity and the homelessness and some people leaving, but when it's about early stage startup and AI, it's all happening here. In the first half of 2025, AI deals in San Francisco topped $29 billion, more than double what it was only 2 years ago. And it's not only big deals, nearly half of the AI deals in the entire US are done here in the Bay Area. This is the place to be. And that matters because YC is right here, right in the middle of this ecosystem. Most of the graduate startups actually stay here after the batch. Not only for funding, they're usually done with their funding, but for building their ecosystem, for hiring, for developing and reaching the entire world. You can walk into pretty much any cafe in SF right now and you'd see founders building, many times actually YC founders. I know it's cliche, but it's true. Not only around the YC office. There is something very practical about being here. It's that everyone else is here and the people that are not come visit SF all the time. Everyone is here. You can just, take an Uber ride or Waymo and go meet your next startup you're going to partner with, and of course, your next fund that's going to invest in you. And so this compresses your timeline to do almost anything, and compressed timelines actually change the outcomes of your company because it allows you to go much faster. When your round closes faster, when your go-to-market is quicker, when everything happens instantly, then your company compounds more quickly, and that's actually the essence of YC. It's to compress everything in a very, very short time frame so that the companies just grow faster for now and for the years to come. And by the way, it doesn't mean other ecosystems don't matter. The ecosystems of startups in London, Paris, Berlin, they're fine. But if you want to optimize for your startup success, you've got to be here in SF, and the best founders know it because they all come here. It's the only place where all of the best founders are.